Hey guys, another late night in the shop. Probably the latest I've worked in a while. It's somewhere past 2:30 a.m. It's just one of those things where you kind of get started a little bit late, and then you get started on your project, and you get the one step done, and you want to keep on going to the next step, next step, next step, until you're finally just wanting to just about finish it. And that's kind of where I caught myself tonight. Still got a little bit of finishing left to do, but I did want to show you guys my first handle, as far as handle scales anyway. This is I believe the canvas micarta. See if we can focus on that a little bit. Pretty pleased with how that came out. I could definitely buff it up a little bit more, maybe put a little more shine on it. But as you can see, nothing too fancy, just very slightly rounded the ends towards the ricasso. Went ahead and chamfered those before I glued it on. And the way I did that, I maybe kind of cheated. I just had a 45-degree chamfer bit in my tabletop router there. So I just set that as deep as I could. This is pretty thin stock, so it was kind of hard to ride the bearing without setting it somewhat shallow, as you could see. But I'm pretty happy with the look. It's definitely still very comfortable in the hand, maybe more reminiscent of a folder, kind of the blocky, or I don't know if blocky is a good word, but folders are usually a little more squared off. And these are pretty thin scales, about 1/8 inch or so. But I went ahead and chamfered those, epoxied them on there, put my pins in as well. And then I just flushed it up to the tang and went ahead and carried the chamfer all the way around. And then I just kind of polished it up on the belt sander using my flat platen, and then I buffed it a little bit. Also put the edge on tonight. Extremely sharp, easily popping hairs off my arm, as usual. You can kind of see that bare spot there. Hairs weren't pulling at all, so I know this is extremely sharp. This is going to be my everyday carry for a while. I'm going to make the sheath probably tomorrow, just another Kydex neck sheath. I'll also be able to try out my eyelet setter over there for our first sheath on that. And then maybe I'll put some stencils on it as well. Unfortunately, I left my stencils at my buddy's house, for whom I made the first one of these. I went ahead and took those over there with my etcher and put a mark on his blade, since I didn't have my stencils by his birthday. And unfortunately, I forgot the sheets over there, so I'm going to have to pick those up, get a good etch on there. But overall, I'm very pleased with how this one came out. Like I said, this will be my tester. I got quite a bit of cardboard I'd like to cut with it. Maybe some rope and stuff, just to see how it holds up under some moderate use. And I'll probably just, like I said, carry it around every day, opening packages, mail, this and that, and just see how it carries, how it functions. And I probably won't even sell this in the future. I'd really like to have one of my knives on me as often as possible, just because it's a good conversation starter, and also a good way to get customers. If maybe it just happens to come up and you show them your work, it's definitely good to have an example on you. So I think I'm going to try to do that. And I think this is definitely a good showpiece. We'll see how that almost mirror finish holds up. I did tighten up the grain on the edge bevel, just because it looked a little bit too rough in contrast. Didn't quite take it down to the shine on the rest of the blade, but I think it's a good look. But that's where we're at tonight. I'm definitely ready to go in and call it a night. try to make the sheath tomorrow, see how that works out. And then, like I said, we can start using this, testing it out, and making sure our heat treat process is adequate. I've also been doing a little bit of research on the heat treating as well. And maybe thinking of changing some things up a bit. Maybe trying some salt water or a brine solution. Or modifying kind of the way we've done things in the past. I think I am getting adequate results with the vegetable oil, but there's always better ways to skin the cat, so to speak. So, not that we'll be using this to skin a cat. Don't call PETA on me. But, yeah, you know, I'm always trying to learn new things, keep on researching, and, you know, bettering my product and my methods of making them. So, definitely looking into that a little bit more. Not that the way I'm doing it now is necessarily wrong. It's how a lot of guys do it, and they get very good results. And I think for the most part, I've been getting good results. Like I said, we'll definitely have a better concept of that when I test this edge. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before in my other videos, but I do grind the edge on the flat platen, but at the very end I will convex it just a little bit using the slack of the belt. And I'm probably not going to be able to see that at all. It's very, very slight. But that's just a little touch I like to add, just to maybe reinforce that edge just a hair. Maybe it doesn't do anything once you get down to that level, but definitely something I usually do. And I'm pretty pleased with how my sharpening has been going. Always room for a little bit of improvement, just in the evenness of the grind. Might be trying some different methods with that in the future as well. But anyway, I'm kind of starting to babble now, so going to call it a night, but I just wanted to show my latest and greatest there. We'll still do a little bit of finishing on that, like I said, and then get the sheath made. Kind of have a new technique or two I might try on the Kydex making as well. I'll let you guys know, or the sheath making from the Kydex. I'll let you guys know how that goes and whether or not that was successful. But we're definitely at a good place to stop, and I need to get some sleep. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Please rate and comment and subscribe if you have not already. And there's definitely more to come. Stay tuned.